There you go. Okay. Hello, hello, everyone. This is I guess essentially a podcast. I don't know. I mean, again, it's an idle game, so like I don't really know what else to do with this because I mean, as you can see, there's very riveting gameplay going on in front of me. So, you know, I would make this some kind of let's play, but I think instead I'm just gonna turn this into, I guess, essentially a podcast. I don't really know. That's again, I feel like all I can really do with this, like in terms of like content or whatever. I don't know if it'll be titled like a podcast or anything, but it's just like I'm just gonna talk. It's only me, so I don't know if it's necessarily the most riveting podcast ever, but it's like, you know, I've said this a few times, but like I can like literally talk to myself for hours. Like I could just freaking sit here and and freaking talk to myself for forever. So this is gonna be purely uncut. You're gonna hear all of my stuttering nonsense. Probably won't be too long. Um, since I don't necessarily want my second video to be in like an hour long. But yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna be playing this game. So let's see. Circle fills, maps and stuff. Okay. Revolution. Okay. So I think I'm getting the game. I think I am understanding. Time flux. What is this? You gain this when you are offline or when you watch a rewarded ad. There's ads in my freaking Steam game, my freaking Steam computer game. You can speed up the game or make it time warp. All right, whatever. We got it. We got it. So I guess it's just time to talk now. It's just time to say stuff because again, this thing is just gonna keep doing its thing. So um, I didn't really plan any topics. I probably should have done that. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, but it's just like you know, I'm here enjoying life. So uh, you know, I guess I mainly wanted to talk about the first video I made on this channel. It was it was certainly something. I was mainly testing using OBS, which I'm using right now. Uh, yeah, so it's not like the best thing ever. And then I also kind of got burnt out doing the editing, which I mean, you look at that video, it's not like crazily edited or anything, but it's also like, give me a break. I've never edited before, so yeah. And it doesn't even have to do with the fact that I was editing the video and oh, it was too complicated, because I'm sure I could have sat down and done it and done like the quote unquote true vision or like just done a lot more with the video. But I definitely just felt tired, especially I think at that back end, like it's just like there was not really that much editing like at all, and that's just because I was so done with the video. And as I want to get into, like I just had a lot of stuff going on. I freaking was doing so much. Like I got school to worry about, and when I get home, I just feel like I can't really do anything but like again work on my schoolwork and even just not even think about that. Like I just like I want to come home and like watch YouTube all day because I'm so freaking done of my stupid freaking 9 to 5 or whatever. Like I just feeling incredibly tired. Like I don't want to continue thinking about that. Um, yeah, like it's just not a good situation to be in, like mentally. So, um, I just try not to, you know, try not to think about it too hard. Um, yeah, even though I definitely do need to, you know, I definitely need to get to work on certain assignments and things. Like, I guess I'll just, oh my gosh, my toe. I guess I'll just go over kind of like my day to day. Because I'll be honest, I am not too happy with today. Like, I did like nothing. I did nothing um, today. And yeah, I don't know that I feel incredibly bad um, because of that. Because today's like nothing burger day. I did like absolutely nothing. I like lied in bed most of the day. Like I'm watching YouTube and crap like. It's days like these where I just feel the worst because I get like nothing done, and I don't want to blame myself too hard because again, like I said, part of it's just because I feel super unmotivated after coming back from school. So then it's like weekends are even worse for this kind of feeling because it's like, oh, it's the weekends, right? And now it's my break from school. But you know, since I'm since I feel so burnt out by the end of it, it's like I don't even want to do anything on the weekends. I just want to take this day to lounge around, do nothing, do straight nothing all day. Which, yeah, I just I don't, you know, I can acknowledge my own faults. Like that's not very productive at all. But I don't really have much else to really do. Like, I do have other projects, I have other things. Like obviously this is gonna be uploaded on the Slop channel. So, like if anybody's watching this, if anybody actually cares, because I'm pretty sure here I can do it live, I can do it during the video. But my freaking my first video has not gained any traction since I'm recording this. It has not gained any traction, not even a little bit. So we can go to studio here. But yeah, there's like nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. One like, two views, and they aren't mine, I think. Oh, two views. LOL. LOL. I have two views on my video. Let's go, man. I have two views on the video, and that's pretty freaking cool. It's pretty alright. Oh, yeah. Um, yeah. Anyways, though, back on topic or whatever I was trying to say, like the point being, like, if you haven't seen that video and you're watching this, go watch it. But also, like, I have a main channel as well, and I haven't really done much with that either. Because it being the main channel, it's also kind of like my personal channel at the same time. Like, I just want to make stuff that I find fun, you know, uh, which is technically why it's taken me so long to do something like this, because I could have done this a lot earlier, but I'm also a little bit stubborn and kind of, a little bit of a perfectionist. So like often I feel like I have to make the greatest and the best videos of all time when really I don't have to do that. Like nobody's freaking forcing me to do anything. I just sometimes feel like I need to make quality videos, even on the Slop channel. Like I just feel like I need to make something that isn't totally garbage. But in this case, it's just like I'm gonna upload this, um, and I'm just gonna see how that goes. Like completely unedited too. So this might run for a little bit now that I'm thinking about it. My initial goal was like maybe over 10 minutes or something. And actually already almost reaching the freaking 8-minute mark here. So, there's that. But in this case, it's like since it's kind of a podcasty thing, and I don't know, I'm assuming people want me to get farther than probably just this red thing. Which, speaking of which, here, let me get the orange one. Oh yeah, there's orange on the board, orange on the board, yeah. But yeah, like it's been real tough for me, and you know, uh, now having essentially three channels, I'm not really doing much with the third, which again you can see uh there's like the freaking in my links on the channel, uh, and I'm still trying to figure out how you like put them on like the homepage. Like I think there's like a thing for that. But if anybody knows, I guess again, for anybody who's watching this, if you freaking know how to put the channels on the homepage, let me know, please, please, brother, please. I'd love to know. Because trust me, I've looked around. I feel like I search around in circles on the dang YouTube Studio app or even on the computer, and it's like I can't freaking I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Other channels have it, and it's like it feels like maybe is that like a remnant of old YouTube? Did I not do it before the random update where it's like let's not put channels on the homepage anymore? Let's not do that. Like I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, just please, anyone who knows, let me know. Um, yeah. Let's see. What other topics? What other things we got? Um, oh here, since it's like a podcasty kind of dealio, let's just again, let's just jump from topic to topic, things that I care about or that I could talk about for like 25 years. So here, let's have this on record. Let's have this on record. You know, I went to go see the Mario Galaxy movie, and I didn't really know what to expect going in. I didn't really have any like I guess preset expectations necessarily. Like I didn't really, you know, go in there being like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the best movie ever, or oh this is gonna suck, it's gonna be terrible, I'm gonna hate it. I just kind of went in there and just wanted it to do its thing. I just wanted to be either blown away or freaking laugh at how bad it was. Like I just wanted to go in essentially blind. Even though I had seen a lot of the trailers leading up to the movie, but like I just wanted to let it take me. I wanted to see how it was gonna play out. And again, let's just get to the point here. This movie's dog water. It's bad. It's like bad, bad. I don't know if you expect me to have a different opinion, but it sucks, man. It just straight sucks. And look, obviously, let me just say this, for the people at home, for the viewers at home. Like I don't hate the movie, and I actually had a lot of fun with it, even on that first viewing. Like it was very fun seeing Fox McCloud up there on the big screen. I'm not even necessarily a big Star Fox guy, but like it was cool. It was cool. The whole like art style shift for his freaking backstory. It's neat, right? It's very, very cool. Um, but I think what gets me about the movie, and I think everyone, if you've seen any reviews on it, it's just like it's paper thin plot. It's like there's nothing burger the movie. There's nothing going on. And for those who don't really know what we mean by that, especially if you're like a enjoyer of the Mario Galaxy movie, which by the way, just keep enjoying it. Just because I hate it, doesn't mean you can't still enjoy it. I mean, I'm not sure why you would ever value my opinion. I'm freaking like two subscriber and those two subscribers are my other channels. So like basically zero subs. I'm a zero sub YouTuber who freaking it was barely doing this as like a job. Really, it's more of a hobby. So it's like again, you should not take my opinions um, with really any value whatsoever. But again, just hear me out on this one. If for some reason you're hesitant to hear me out or whatever, I again, it's paper thin plot is just it's so frustrating. It's like I as a storyteller myself, since I want to do that eventually. But as someone who's especially been studying all those little like core fundamentals, all those things, it's so frustrating to see the film and like it just doesn't have a story. It has like literally no character development. Like even on my first viewing, because I usually like to take things, I like to watch a movie multiple times or just get second opinions on this kind of stuff. But it's like I freaking watched the movie for the first time, and it's like by the time they got to the climax, I'm like, why are we at the climax? Like we haven't like we as like from a story perspective, we have not reached the climax. At most, we've just been going around left and right, and technically there is stuff that has happened for the plot's sake. Like obviously there was that sort of setup to the plot, right? Bowser Jr. comes in, or like Rosalina's been kidnapped, so like Peach goes on her own, does that thing, and then obviously Bowser Jr. comes to go get his dad. Like there are semblance of the setup there. There are things there that set up the plot. But then afterwards, we're just bouncing around. We're going here and there, and Star Fox is in this movie and whatever. Like nothing happens really. Like there's no sense of like, okay, we need to go to these planets to get to Bowser Planet. We're just going to these planets for funny because we can. Um, like again, there's nothing that really gives us a reason to be on the planets that we are going to, other than just for funny references. And again, I did appreciate the references. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I didn't, but I'm also not gonna pretend like, most of it just felt shoehorned in there for the sake of making you freaking Wojak at your freaking movie theater screen. Like there's nothing there's no story. There's like nothing, dude. Rosalina has barely any screen time in this movie. So she's just kind of boiled down to damsel in distress, which, I'm sure on my libs, they hate that one. But in all seriousness, it's like not to get political on this freaking thing because I don't care. Like just to put that, keep just to break. But just to put my opinion out there, it's like I do not care. about any pol political stuff. Ah, jeez, I gotta stop freaking stuttering. Just like say what you want to say, man. But yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. Like Rosalinda has no time in there. She's just the damsel in distress. And the thing is, it's like it could work if there was actually like literally anything at all that Rosalinda had to do. But except she doesn't have anything to do. She's just in the cage for the entire movie, and that's it. That's her role. She is the MacGuffin. We have to go save her. You know, like with the Mario, what the first Mario movie could have been. Which, speaking of which, just kind of defend that thing. Like, yes, it's kind of a thin story, and there are certain plot threads that don't really get explored further. But the thing is, like, at least it actually has an arc for its main character and some of its main characters, even if they're a lot weaker than Mario's arc. But it's like there is something there, and even with like I don't know, like the stuff that happens with like DK and Mario bonding over the lack of their father figures who seem to respect them or whatever. Like it's uh like they even though that doesn't really go any further than the freaking belly of the eel scene, like they at least you know I at least expected it to maybe come up in future movies because I knew damn well this thing was gonna get a sequel. So I'm like, you know, they're gonna expand on it further. Like they're just kind of laying that groundwork for like it to get explored in maybe DK's own movie, in a future Mario movie. Like I don't mind that that doesn't necessarily play too much into DK's character. Like obviously it still kind of did, but like not in any crazy amount. Like it's not really like a nice neat bow. It's more like they just kind of tied it normally. So it's like it's there, just not like it doesn't look all pretty and stuff. It doesn't actually freaking you know, tie in super cleanly. It's not like poetry. It doesn't really rhyme, but it, still sounds nice. A couple of stanzas, it's okay. But yeah, it's like there's something there to the Mario movie. There's at least a story that makes sense, and by the time you walk out of that theater, by the time you are done watching that movie, you feel like Mario as a character has changed, and that there is very much a different place in the characters that ended up from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. But just because we switched locations in the freaking film, like, oh, we were here when we started the movie and now we're here. That doesn't, you know, that can be part of signifying change, but also, it doesn't, we didn't actually change anything. Nobody grew. Rosalina didn't do anything. Mario is just incredibly capable throughout the entire film, so there's no real growth or anything different there, which we'll get to what they could have done um, a little bit later. But it's like, yeah, and then the other supporting cast don't really do anything other than just kind of be funny, which again, I wouldn't necessarily mind, but it's like, again, in a movie that doesn't even have an arc for whether it be its main character or like any of them, like really, which speaking of which, the main character isn't really even Mario, but it's like Mario doesn't even have anything to do. And the quote unquote main character of this movie, or at least the character that it feels like it's very much centered around, Peach, doesn't she doesn't do anything either. She just freaking decides to go save Rosalina because I don't know, the kindness of her heart, I guess, which we really need to stop letting that slide in the writer's room. Just because a character is kind or on the side of good does not mean that they are just gonna go do something good. Like again, that doesn't really play into her character anymore. Like she's not some mysterious good guy who we don't really know the motivations of. She's freaking Princess Peach, dude. She's one of our main characters. We've seen her talk and do stuff. Like she's not some mysterious character. We know who she is, and we know to a certain degree how she acts. So it's like we would at least like to know her motivations a little bit when it comes to maybe literally leaving her entire kingdom to go save someone she's never met. Like I think there needs to be something. There needs to be a little bit more there. Other than the secret plot twist, which I guess spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. But freaking, they're sisters. Ah, like it doesn't like that's not enough, especially because it's meant to be the plot twist. She only finds that out after essentially getting on the Comet Observatory and finding Rosalina or whatever. Like she only finds that out very late into the movie. That's like the big thing. That's sort of part of the not necessarily the climax, but like that's sort of you know in that rising action leading into the climax. Like that, it's like near the end there, and it's like this does nothing for me because like we really only found this out now? We only know about this now, and I won't even get into how this like changes the entire lore of her character or whatever from the games, but it's like I I why would I care? Oh shoot, a million. Huh, huh. I guess I reached a million. Huh. Anyways. Oh, here, just because we are taking a break in this conversation, let's add yellow. Yes, yellow. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, uh, back to this discussion at hand. Well, yeah, friggin' Peach isn't doing anything in this movie. Mario isn't doing anything either. Like, there's little breadcrumbs of things, but like they're not doing anything. Even Bowser, who I felt like had the most compelling character arc that could have actually been something to a certain degree, they just drop it immediately. Which is like, again, if you've seen the movie, which I mean, we're kind of talking about the entirety of the thing, so maybe I should have said spoiler warning before, but it's like whatever. The whole sisters thing was the biggest spoiler anyway, so it's like I don't even freaking care, dude. I don't even freaking care. But like Bowser had this arc of essentially being good, right? Like he kind of turns into a good guy. He's bonding with Luigi initially, and like even grows to kind of like Mario. Mario kind of, you know, is like, oh, maybe you're not such a bad guy. Which is, I think it adds some depth to this villain character who, a lot of people just kind of see it like, oh, he's just bad because he's bad. Like his motivation to do anything bad is just, oh, I want to marry Peach. Oh, I want to sometimes take over the world, but most of the time it's Peach related. So like, it gives that character a little bit more depth, at least I feel like, especially if they actually leaned into it. Lent into it, that's not a word. They leaned into it. There could have been something there. They could have done something with that. But again, they just chose not to because they so easily reverse him back because we need the bad guy. We need Bowser to be the bad guy. And again, I'm not saying he needs to go full on good by the end of this movie, but I think there could have been something there where maybe he tones down his evilness. Maybe he tones down being bad, you know? Because, again, if you've seen the movie, it's like, there's that one scene where Junior's trying to kill them while they're riding with Fox in the R-Wing. And Bowser's kind of trying to calm him down, but it doesn't seem to do much of anything, since Junior just, like, literally, I'm pretty sure in that next scene, just convinces him to be bad again, which is like, okay, dude, that, I love that. I love that all of his character progression just immediately regressed because, again, we need the villain, we need the bad guy, but the thing is, Bowser Jr. in a lot of ways felt like the main bad guy of this freaking movie because I mean he's the one who did the most anyways. He went to go save his dad and fought the Mario Bros. And he made the entire Bowser planet. Like, like he worked very hard doing all of that. Like he is very clearly the main villain, especially when Bowser starts having his good guy arc to a certain degree. Like he is very much the main villain and could have been the main villain. But again, they chose not to do anything with that. They're like, yep, nope, no more of that. I don't. I find that really ridiculous because, and I think it's the most interesting arc in the movie because Bowser could have had so much more depth as a character. He could have told Junior to back off when he was essentially trying to kill them, and I think it could have technically made a lot of the movies more family friendly. Because let's be real, Mario's not gonna die anyways. So it's like, what's the point of having Bowser be like, "Oh, you're gonna die," if Mario's never gonna lose? Like we know that man's never gonna lose. But I think a good, something that makes those films entertaining is not necessarily just the stakes, but also the fun stuff that's happening. That's why I still enjoyed it because a lot of the action was great. Just throwing a positive here, like that choreography was awesome. But you know, when you're just kind of doing awesome choreography for the sake of awesome choreography, it's like you're starting to lose me. Like obviously, a part of it is that maybe you need stakes, but also another part of it's also just like I'd like to actually see like the fun stuff that this movie has to offer in terms of writing and the story. Like I'd like to, actually be engrossed in the characters so I feel like they could actually die even if the character's intention is not to. Like I don't know. It's just I I'd like to actually care a little bit, instead of just being like, yeah, yeah, it's like whatever, man. It's like whatever, who freaking cares? Who freaking cares? Who cares? Like nothing matters. You know? Yeah, it just makes me mad because I mean, obviously, the Peach doesn't really have much of an arc. I don't think there's much being teased. I think besides her saying that she feels a little lost, but they don't really do anything with that or even elaborate on what that means. So it's just like, okay, Peach, you feel lost. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. And then Mario, who again maybe has not necessarily like the second most interesting arc in this movie. I guess so, mainly just because it's the only other arc in this movie, um, where it's like Mario wants to ask Peach out, but he feels very um, not confident in himself to do so. You it's kind of like a lot of the similar feelings of the first movie, which you could like argue, oh, it's like we're doing it again, but like I feel like doing it again under a new context is a clever way of actually doing that, especially because by the third movie, it's like if we're doing it again, at that point, I'd be like, okay, like chill out, man. We already did this. Like we don't need to do it again. But again, this movie doesn't even bother with that. It's just like, I don't know if Peach will want to go out with me. And then by the end of the movie, it's like he gets a kiss on the cheek. So it implies that maybe they're going out, but they also never actually say it. They never show it really. It's just Mario gets a kiss on the cheek. You know how many times Mario's gotten kissed on the cheek in the games? That doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. So it's like, okay, man, great. I'm so glad Mario got a kiss on the cheek because technically, movie Mario wouldn't have gotten that from like Peach in the first movie, but it's still, like that doesn't really mean anything. It's still a will they won't they situation because we didn't hear about the relationship progressing. We didn't hear about anything happen. So why should I care? Why again? It's like this is just like the tagline of this movie. Why should I care? And then like asterisk answer because there's funny Mario references in this movie. And like okay, I don't know. Like you can feel differently about it, but it's like there's so much they could have done with a lot of these characters. Like, oh my gosh, I just remembered, freaking Toad. Toad has a rivalry with Yoshi because he's like, oh, we just added this guy to the group. Are you being for real, man? Like, who is this guy? Bro, thinks he's on the team. But again, they don't elaborate on it. It's like, again, I don't necessarily need a big serious character arc from that, but it's also like you could have resolved that at some point in the movie where Toad and Yoshi are just chill with each other and they settle the beef, the very one-sided beef. Like but again, they choose not to. There's like a whole scene where it could have happened. Like that one where they're on the dinosaur planet, they're on Fossil Falls, the planet, and and then it's like a Toad and a Yoshi scene. But instead of trying to get them to actually work together or to care about each other in any significant way, they're just they're just there for the references. Yoshi's getting the super scope gun from the tree, and Toad's trying to take care of the babies because the babies had to show up in this movie, I guess. You know, funny Mario Odyssey dinosaur, and also Mario plays freaking ground BGM on his teeth. Get a guy's ground BGM, the Mario song. Yeah, ground BGM, dude. I don't know. Again, it's just ridiculous. There are so many loose ends in this movie, way more than the first one. You know, because again, at least I walked out of the first movie feeling like, oh, I accomplished something. I didn't do anything, but you know what I mean? Like it feels fulfilling by the end. It's like, oh, there's something there. Like it starts here and it ends there, and it's like, you feel nice because it's like an actual conclusion to a movie. This thing is not a movie, bro. You freaking watch this in VR and go, whoa, whoa, there goes Star Fox in the R wing, and he's flying, he's doing a barrel roll. Oh my gosh! Like that's what this movie is. It's the equivalent of just like an amusement park ride, wearing VR and like, it's like one of those VR videos on YouTube. Like you're like freaking moving the mouse around, or I don't know, moving your phone around. And you're like, whoa, look at all this stuff I can see through my phone. It's like it's all it is. It's a gimmick. It's a novelty. It's not a movie. It's just like look at all this cool stuff that we own. Maybe less than like Space Jam 2, but it's still just like that's what it is. It's not. It's not a movie. I hate to really call that thing a movie, not because of the people who worked on it or whatever, but it's just because it doesn't even try to do that. It doesn't try to be a film. It just tries to, you know, it just does whatever you call that. And most of the time people call that a little bit soulless or a cash grab, but like, yeah, I don't really have the words, Because again, there are clearly people who care. about it on the team. Like I don't really blame them at all. Blame them at all. You know, there are clearly a lot of passionate people working on the film. It's just that the fact that they don't even bother to try any harder than just caring about it and getting it right is just I don't know. Like I mean, it's definitely better than like you know like any better than any movies that released in like the freaking you know 90s to like you know 2010s. It's better than any of those films because they're actually adapting it quite right. But you know, outside of that, it's like every other film that is that is that is come out now. It's either like kind of good or pretty cash grabby. But like, oh, at least we're getting it right, right? There's stuff from the games in the movie. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's a shame. I mean, again, I'd rather have this, I guess, over like movies, terrible movies that like don't even get it right at all. But like, at least we are kind of getting some. There's a lot of actually pretty decent ones that exist. Again, shows or animes or freaking or movies. Like, there's at least a lot of decent ones that get it right, and even if they make changes, they're typically making them for the better. So, yeah, yeah, I'm happy for that. Yeah, that's the Mario movie segment. Jeez, we're already at 30 minutes. um, Here, it's green time. It's green time, everybody. Woo! Green! Woo! It's green. Uh, oh, let's see. I have at least maybe like one more topic. Again, I don't make this incredibly long. Maybe I will go for an hour, right? Because it is the podcast essentially. It's the equivalent of a podcast. I think I know I said at the beginning of this that I don't really want like an hour-long video, but let's be real. I am not really going to be cutting this up like at all. Like not even a little bit. I don't know if this thing's gonna have an intro. Probably an outro, maybe. Although actually, I don't know. That might be annoying for the podcast viewers. So probably not. Probably not. But again, I don't know. I'll see. We'll see what happens. Uh, let me think of another topic because again, I did not come up with anything. And again, maybe next time for this, I'll actually get somebody to talk to. But I could technically do this on my own. I probably just need to write down like a list of topics or something. You know. Oh, here, yeah, here's something I can talk about. I have been playing Tomodachi Life. That game came out recently, right, guys? Trendy things that are happening recently. Six, seven, that's what the kids say. Uh, but yeah, no, like I've been playing uh, Tomodachi Life. It's been hell of a lot of fun. Since I'm going into consecration, I think I'd love to do, I also want to like stream at some point. I'd love to do like an island, but the viewers get to like, decide what me's we put on there, what they talk about, things like that. Like really just get the viewers involved in like what happens, um, and just really make that the stream island. Like they get to decide like the characters and things and all that stuff. Like I gotta go. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be really fun to do essentially like a stream version of the island. But like my own personal island is been going real great. Uh, you know, I'm just like I feel like I find myself, and tell me if anyone else can relate, like maybe the one alien that is watching this, I don't know. But like I've just been freaking terraforming that island like crazy. Like I add more me's and it's like, oh great, I gotta terraform my island again because it's not freaking it doesn't fit my needs. It doesn't fit my needs, and I'm also just constantly going between different layouts of like, do I want a sidewalk on my island? Do I want to freaking, like what kind of paths am I going for? I'm trying to build a park in there. I got the freaking, oh, just the seesaw and like those little freaking things that are in some parks. I don't think I had any at my parks that I used to go to as a kid. I don't think there are any of those there. But like, these little things that you ride and they go back and forth. I have a couple of those. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. I've just had a lot of fun terraforming the island, even though it's been very much a pain at the same time. And I also added like tons and tons of me's. A lot of them are OCs. I also added some family members, but like yeah, I think it's really really fun to just like do that, and I'd love to make like essentially just like you know a streamer island, right? A streamed island, where again, people can just make the choices. They can choose what our characters talk about, who the characters even are, and yeah, and I don't know. I think it'd be a fun thing to see chat maybe go crazy over, even though it's real. Even starting out, I'm probably only gonna have 0 viewers, like nobody's watching this podcast. And I guess since nobody's watching this podcast, I guess I can say I like big, hot, oily men because no one's gonna listen to this, right? No one's listening. No one even got this far into the video. And it's like right in the middle probably of the video. So like again, nobody's listening, right? Nobody's hearing this. So I can just say I love big, oiled up men, big black oiled up men, and I just like and I love it too if they're wearing some cat ears and if they got a cat tail. Like like I love this. I love that stuff. And like no one's gonna hear this, right? Like nobody's listening to this, so it's like no one's even paying attention probably too. Like even if you have this on, you're probably like freaking sweeping, you're like mopping, or vacuuming, or whatever. So again, you're probably not even listening. You're probably not even listening. You're probably gooning on the side. Like that's what you're doing because it's like you know, yeah, I have nothing interesting to say. I have no valuable opinion static because again, I'm not like talking about nothing. So like nah, yeah. Again, I'm just gonna hear that. I think that bit went on for a little too long. That's what I think. Um, Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments below. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that was the Tomodachi Life section. I could end it here. I don't really know what else I'd want to talk about though. Again, that's what happens when you don't line up any topics. Uh, Here. I think maybe one last thing. Maybe I don't know how long it'll last, but I have an insane backlog of games. I have so many games. I don't know if anyone can relate. Maybe, probably, possibly, even though I don't think anyone's listening. But still, it's like I have such an insane backlog of games. I have so many games to go through. A lot of them I got on sale, or even just like I have them physically. I just haven't gotten to them yet, or I haven't even like dedicated a lot of time. Due in part right now because I'm playing Tomodachi like every single day. But like, still, I just like freaking zero time for just sitting down and getting through some of those games. Like I have so many games to get through in the backlog. And I'll just say this about me right now, especially because this is like the slot channel. I'm probably gonna maybe be posting up some other gameplays of like actual games. I'd love to start doing some series or something. But uh, like I'm like a completionist. I love to get through games 100%. I love to see everything that the game has to offer. Um, I'm a completionist, no Jared. Um, but like yeah, I'd love to just see games all the way through. And like that also just made it really hard because it's like sometimes I'm still on a game or like other times I realize I just beat this game but I did not 100%, so that means I'm definitely gonna have to come back and 100% it, which is a real pain, especially for a certain type of game. You know what I'm talking about. The games that have ranking systems. I guess let me explain for those who don't know. Like, if you ever played like a more like modern Sonic game, like typically the 3D ones, like you will get a rank for how well you do on the stage. And maybe if you only play like indie games or something, I think a good example of that and something that I am actually gonna need to come back to is Pizza Tower. Again, it's based on how well you do in the stage. You get a letter grade most of the time. So like that's what I mean. And just getting on like Sonic games and Pizza Tower, like the thing that sucks about them is like I can beat the game, but that means I have to go back and freaking beat the levels extra good. But the thing is, to beat the levels extra good, you have to be extra good. Which, like, from a game design perspective, I don't hate that. But what sucks for me is that, like, most of the time it's like, okay, I beat this game. I just want to move on because I know 100% it would take like 25 years, especially because it's just going to be trying the same levels over and over and over again until I get it right. Which, again, can be fun. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not fun. But when I have very little time on my hands, or at least like I want to technically do more important things. Even though I didn't really do anything important today, but that is besides the point. I'm a hypocrite, yes, but like point being, it's like I want to do other things, so I can't just sit down and like try this one stage over and over and over again until I get the freaking S rank or the P rank or whatever. Like I just I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Like I haven't even done that for Cuphead, and I got that maybe like 2 years ago at this point because that was another game that I got on sale. So it's like, yeah, I did beat the game, and I have technically gone back through a lot of the bosses and gotten like I think what is it? Is it S in Cuphead? Like I've gotten like a lot of perfect scores, but it's still just like I think it's actually A. I don't think it's S, but it's like I've gotten all the A's or like a decent amount of the A's, but I still haven't done every single boss. And obviously, then there's also the DLC as well, where I need to do those bosses as well. It's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing, and I just cannot be bothered because with those hard games, it's like again you have to play perfect, and like again I'm not playing those games every day. I'm not doing it directly after beating the game either. So it's like again maybe I did it for some, but others it's like I gotta get back into the groove, and that's what really sucks. Like I gotta get back into the groove. I'm gonna be rusty, which means it's gonna take even longer because I have to get into the groove. So it is just it's awful. It's awful, and it keeps me from finishing the backlog. Even though maybe I should just jump from game to game and just check them out and at least beat them. Even if I'm not able to 100%, I'm at least beat them. But yeah, it's real bad. It's like super bad. What is this? Anti-ellipse? Get a solid circle. Oh, cool. Yeah, but I think that's really all I have to say on the subject. It's like I have so many games to get through, um, and very little time, very little time. I guess just to bring this podcast full circle, it's like I've been struggling with a lot of mental health stuff, and I've also just been, you know, working on so many different projects, mainly like, you know, school projects, like those kind of projects. But I also want to get other things done. I want to post some stuff on main. I want to post some stuff on the Slop channel. Technically, again, as I'm recording this, I have so many recordings in like the backlog, and technically I'm doing something with my friend. We're recording something for this channel, and he's also incredibly busy, so that makes it hard to just like finish that and do it. But yeah, no, like I'm gonna I gotta get through a lot of projects. I'm gonna get through a lot of things. And again, I guess just to put it on record, I mean, again, it's a podcast. I'm just talking about myself here. I don't think people are gonna know who I am or where I live. Here's my address. Put it up on screen. 43 minutes. But yeah, like just a lot of things going on, and I think I'm definitely going to take a gap year just to kind of think about my life. I'm going to get a real job, get one of those. So we'll see how that goes and how maybe I'm feeling in like literally a year from now. Again, this can kind of be seen as almost like a little bit of a time capsule. I think that's what I kind of like about podcasts, because I only really recently got into those. I wasn't really like an audio listener, like not even really music. I never really dabbled in music until like kind of recently. I'd say maybe like a few years ago. Uh, Maybe like 2023. I think that's when I started maybe getting more into music. Either that or 2024. I don't really remember. But like one of those 2 years, I just like really started to listen to music and like explore genres that I like, things that I like. Like again, just to have these kind of things on record. It's like I kind of just like anything. Like as long as I like it and it's bumping, like that's really all that matters to me. It does not really matter the genre or even necessarily who made it. It just has to be a good song. You know, there has to be something going on there, some kind of musical progression, and like just you know having like a fun flow, a good beat. If we're talking about rap, like it's just gotta sound nice, and I can mess with it. I can vibe with that. So yeah, you know. And again, getting back to the podcasting, it's like I love how much of a time capsule they are. I've been going through again, just putting everything out here. Like I've been going through the group chat podcast, And it's very interesting. As someone who really only watched their videos because, especially before, I never felt like I had enough time for podcasting. Technically, I still don't. Oftentimes I'm consuming a lot of their podcasts in bits and chunks. Maybe while I'm doing other things. But like, it's very fun to kind of see that growth over time. There's a lot of episodes that I have to catch up with as of recording this, but like again, it's interesting seeing that development, hearing about certain things and videos that they did when I was just kind of a video watcher. I was not watching the podcast, so I only really knew what was going on through the videos and things like that. And yeah, no, it's been really fun to see what their thoughts are on just a lot of different things, and even just again, sort of that behind the scenes, sort of like, oh yeah, this is just what happens in our life, and also this is kind of how these videos came to be, all that other stuff. Like it's very fun, very interesting to listen to all that. So I kind of hope that maybe this is kind of like that. Like I don't think I'm going to be doing it every week necessarily. I don't know. I mean, at least I'd be able to upload more. So who knows? Maybe I will do it every week because all I really have to do is click occasionally for the upgrades. Because I think people care about that. I think so. It's like, yeah, all I really have to do is you know click, press the button. Um, but yeah. Uh, I think that's really it. Um, Again, next time I will maybe invite my friend to freaking sit with me and do this essentially. I didn't really think that the second video I did on the Slop channel would essentially be a podcast, but I also don't really mind it because I think, at least as it stands right now, and something that I've been learning, for those aspiring YouTubers out there, again, I'm not sure why you would listen to me because I probably only have like one view and it's from you, the person listening. But you know, for if you are an aspiring YouTuber person listening, just like take this as a lesson. Do hell of a lot of research on the things that you are investing in and that you're also just using. Because just a little word of advice here. I have a microphone. You're probably listening to me right now and like, why does this guy sound so bad? I'm using my headphones, but I have a microphone. It's here. It's real. I don't know if any of this fabric rubbing is coming in through my headphones, but like it is there. It is real, except I can't plug it in because I don't have a mixer, which I think one of the cheaper ones I could find was like $300 or something, like $400. I don't remember, but it's like that is a lot of money, and I already spent a hell of a lot of money on getting a good microphone, and I can't even use it. I probably have to wait an entire year to use this microphone, which freaking sucks. Because, even though this is in some ways an investment, because who knows, maybe even with this crappy headphone mic, I'll make $1 billion, I'll become the richest podcast known to man. Who knows? But it's like, I can't use it. I can't use this thing. I'm sure it would be nice to record a podcast where you could actually hear the guy clearly and he's not coming in through a stupid headphone mic. But like, this is all I got. And again, for the words of advice here, it's like, do research on all the stuff that you're using, that you're investing in, but also just work with what you got. Because to be honest, and again, maybe if you made it this far, I think you probably just enjoy myself, my being. And if you're trying to make content, then just focus on that. Seriously, like just focus on being yourself, doing what you like, and people will come to your channel. Again, I don't know if you're doing it for fame, for money, whatever, or if you just kind of want to grow on the platform, you want to actually have some kind of community to talk to. But like, just know this. Like, again, right now, I'm like a nobody. So again, I doubt anyone's listening to this. But again, for maybe that one person out there who's actually listening to this, like, just do you. Genuinely. Be you. Do you. Uh, and what I mean by that is just like, you know, be yourself and do the stuff that you want to put on this platform. Be the change you want to be. Even, I don't know, you like a certain type of content but think people do it wrong, do it yourself. That's what I always try to tell people. It's like, if you just don't like something, instead of sitting there and complaining about it, why don't you actually do it? You're mad that like freaking the animation industry sucks. Make your own animation. Make your own freaking animation, fund and all that stuff. And obviously that's a lot harder. It's a lot easier said than done. But it's like, again, Glitch is able to do it. There's so many independent freaking animations that have actually blown up. They're able to sustain themselves on merchandise. And again, it's not necessarily realistic. I know that's like a lot of people's point of contention. Oh, this is, they got lucky. They're not gonna they can't do it forever. All that other jazz. But like, I think instead of just sitting there and pretending like, oh, this is gonna collapse one day, because technically it will. Everything is gonna die. We're all gonna die. The sun's gonna explode. Who freaking cares? Like, instead of focusing on that negative aspect of it, maybe focus on the fact that it is working and that like there's something there. There's something of value there. Instead of just being like, oh, well, expecting that this is gonna work forever is unrealistic. There's no way that this could be the new industry, the new norm. Oh, funny new norm. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous to focus on that aspect because again, it's not like you can't critique it or you can't be like, oh well, this might happen because again it might. But also, we should support it while it still exists instead of acting like we can't get involved or be engaged by it because it'll just blow up one day, and it's all gonna die. So who freaking cares? That's a stupid way of looking at it. That's a stupid way of looking at your life too. So hope we don't got any nihilists watching. Might be peeving you off, but I said it, man. Just make stuff that you want to see on this platform, whether it be something new and innovative or freaking just like fun stuff that you want to see. Fun gameplays like this. A freaking podcast, except I'm playing a game at the same time. I'm sure that's never been done before. It's probably been done before. But like, I'm just doing it because it's like it's an easy thing to do. And you know what? If people care enough to watch this far, to listen to my insane ramblings, to listen to me stutter like I'm freaking XQC, then yeah, you know what? Like, I think that's worth something. It's worth something to me. Maybe I made your day. I don't know. Again, I don't see why you wouldn't be listening this far if I wasn't maybe at least somewhat entertaining or provided something of value to you. I don't know. Maybe you're making fun of me, but I at least prefer that because you watched this far and I did something for you, and that's really all I care about. So yeah, I guess that's all there is to say. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess I could technically go on longer. I'm sure I could find something else to talk about, but I don't know. I don't really need to. I don't need to extend this for any longer than it is, to be honest. It's just kind of is what it is. Yeah. So I'll probably call it here. Although, hold on, what is this? Daily rewards? Yeah! I don't know what this is. What's the TF? The frig? I don't. What does that stand for? Yeah. I mean, here before we end it though, I will add turquoise. Thank you for saying what color it is. I will add turquoise, and I guess that's gonna be the end of that. So here we go. One last hip and hurrah. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! Yeah, we had turquoise. Um, so that's that. That's that's funny podcast. Um, hope hope you enjoying podcasts. I don't know. I don't really have an outro, and kind of like I mentioned group chat podcast earlier. I don't think I'm gonna bro fist it out, or I don't know, or have some kind of outro. I mean, I feel like I should. I think it gives people a good sign that I'm ending, other than the fact that I'm saying I'm ending, because I haven't ended it yet. But I don't know what to do. Does anyone have any ideas? Um, put them in the comments below. But yeah, I don't know. If I guess this is the end. I'm gonna sign off now. Bye bye.